Hello there, and welcome to the next episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2 and Lake Biosyn. Today we are going to build a Terry Ponds area. So this is going to be the area for the THERIZINOSAURUS, and I hope I just kind of pronounced this somewhat right. Today it's going to be a rather slow and short speed build because it just worked out very well indeed. I was a bit confused. I did a couple of things off screen simply to not make the video unnecessarily long, but the build itself just worked out pretty fine, and I'm super happy to be back in Jurassic World Evolution 2 with that build. I'm very sorry that there was a little gap in between. That was mostly due to the fact that my computer broke. For those of you who watch also my Planet Zoo videos and follow me on Twitter, they will obviously know, but for everyone else who is more likely to watch the Jurassic World Evolution 2 stuff, this is the main reason. The only advantage the Planet Zoo stuff had is that I had a couple of things pre-recorded that I could just easily push out then. But Jurassic World Evolution, unfortunately, was all recorded for the embargo date, and then afterwards I didn't have the time because I just, I switched over to Planet Zoo because that had the DLC just a couple of days later. Everything was very close together, and then the computer just broke entirely, and I had a couple of days where I couldn't do anything, and now I'm back finally finishing off this park. So good news is that the time being you're watching this video, the park is more or less finished, so the next habitat is also done. There are just a couple of little things I need to do, but I'm more than confident that I'll be able to do that before my holidays. Now, that said, you might even watch this very video when I'm already in holidays, but I have no real idea when I'm going to upload this. I'm just going to, I'm bunch recording, is that a word, binge recording? Which is, I don't know, but I'm recording all of my stuff right away on the weekend now before my holiday will start, and then I'm going to schedule all the videos for the coming 3 weeks. That's ridiculous. 3 weeks of a break. I haven't done this with YouTube ever, I guess. I think the longest break I ever took was 2.5 weeks with my honeymoon, I guess. And I didn't really prepare too much for that one. And I did obviously a 4 weeks break with the baby when the baby got born. Yeah, I think that's the second longest then. The baby break was longer. But yeah, that's it. Maybe not too interesting for you. But I'm just going, sorry. That's off topic. But yeah, you can see I'm already putting the animals in their beloved area, but first of all I was checking some of the stuff. Actually, you won't see all the relocation of the animals because that is just taking way too long. But I wanted to create a wonderful little pond habitat and then having a little kind of water flow going into the little forest area. Now, obviously, it's kind of a tiny bit inspired by the movie where that is coming from. This wonderful scene, by the way, one of the best scenes of the movie, which has already been in the trailer, so I'm not even spoiling anything for you guys, with Bryce Dallas Howard in the water when when the Terry is coming from behind, and that scene in the movie is just really cool, really cool. I loved it a lot. One of the coolest scenes, also like the framing, the scaling of this thing. I had a little bit of the original Jurassic Park vibe, it implemented also some very cool camera angles, and that one was really cool again, showing actually the relation of a dinosaur, and that, so really cool stuff there. And that was a very small inspiration because obviously the build is very much itself. That said, just as a little reminder, this build is purely done in the normal base game, vanilla game, PC version, because obviously some of the console players last gen are not able to mix some of the things. And so just for you as an inspiration, if you want to build something like that, this is fully done without any mod installed. I will do some modded things again in the future, but for this very park I wanted to finish that off without any mods. I kind of noticed that now, playing this for a couple of days now, I basically reached a target, or I reached a point at which I think this is the moment where I wish I had some mods again. Like, a couple of things just don't really work exactly how I wish, but I have to say now, as a little review of all of the changes that Frontier did recently to the game, I think especially comparing that to Jurassic World Evolution 1, we've made a huge step forward in terms of customizability and building in general. Like the base game now really feels a lot more in control of what you can actually do. It feels like you have a lot more possibilities to build things that look good and look different, you know, that it doesn't all look the same after like you've done 2 parks, for example. So there's a lot more in this game now in the base version that grants a lot more fun over a longer period of time. So I'm really happy that Frontier is continuing to improve this so dramatically, and I'm really happy about this. Like, honestly, don't get me wrong, I'm super excited because that shows that they are willing to improve upon the experience in the base game. There are a couple of things I wish we had, which I'm going to show you in the real-time part. I'm going to talk you through. There are like 2 or 3 things I really wish we would had in the base game. That would make a lot of sense. There are like 2 game breakers for me still, but most of the other game breakers they did fix by the time, so that is really cool. And yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what the future holds for us, because obviously if we look at Jurassic World Evolution 1 and how long it has been supported, we can most likely expect a couple of things to be happening with this as well. I'm really looking forward also to the next Camp Cretaceous season. Maybe we are going to see some content with that as well, because obviously the Camp Cretaceous DLC we had was focused on the last seasons. So let's see if it's holding something new for us. But now let's jump over into the real-time part so I can talk you through this habitat and also my ideas. And here we go into the real-time part. And as you can see, this is the view towards the brand new THERIZINOSAURUS area. And I'm going to pause the game real quick because I love this wonderful view over here. Look at that view. I'm really a big fan of that one. So you have this little river curling through the trees over here and then just ending up in this wonderful little pond area. You're granted with some really cool views, and you've seen that in the time lapse. But if you're getting creative with the tools, you can actually create such a muddy little stream. You can see there's not really solid water, so if you're really careful with that, you can create certain things like that. And I really love the fact how that looks. It just looks like somewhat dried out but still wet and just really like a little muddy. I wish though we had some deeper waters as well, but I can totally understand to why that's not the case. So that's that, and we've got the different ponds in terms of different heights really nicely over here. Now here's the first thing. I already said that in the beginning, but I'm also going to hit a play for a second. I also said that in the time lapse, but one thing I really wish we would have is like a waterfall kind of thing, or like some kind of connection between different water levels. That would be really cool to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna connect those 2 over here. And since there is a specific way how this game works in terms of you know, the terraforming and the terrain, the difference between this and this, if you put them close to each other, will always be the same. So if they create something that is connecting those 2 areas or levels, it could always be exactly the same thing, because you know, at the end of the day, it is the same distance. And to make that a little bit more obvious, I'm just going to show you what I mean over here. So if we are willing to create a little pond, just make that very small over here like that, and then just going to make this area a little bit less high so that we actually have those 2 to each other. And then I'm just gonna make water again. You can see it's always ending at the same time. If I put the water down to is there like a level where I can come up with another? Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna delete this water just to show you. Okay, let's do this again. And then this height, you can see it's still ending with the same distance. So that is always the same distance. And if the game were to create a wonderful transition between those 2 as like a water stream, oh, that would be so amazing. Just like having a little bit more connection between the water volumes, because we just don't have it. And then, you know, if you see that water over here from this river, I just want to steal it, okay? I want to steal it with the riverbed and stuff. It just looks really cool, also with the different shading, and it's like deeper and more shallow at certain areas. So I'm really a big fan of this map Not gonna lie, it's a really cool map, and especially if we go all the way up here, we've got a couple of little water things here, but then also how that is connected to the big Biosyn research compound. It really looks cool, and I wish to have a bit more control over that. Like maybe have the water tool that has two different types of water. So the one being the shallow water in which animals can walk through, and then maybe have like a deep water which can actually be also a fence, for example, like a barrier. That would be really, really cool. And yeah, this is the one thing. And the other thing which I'm desperately lacking is some more control of the path. I just want to be able to build bridges. And yes, I know it's kind of a topic we had for so long, and I know that the path thing, maybe from the way it works, can't act as one, but then I just wish to have like a building piece that is a bridge, you know? Just give us a building, and then you can click and build the bridge with like 1, 2, 3 elements, and the building is connected just as each and every other building, just so we can finally cross over the water. Because oh my god, how much do I wish to have like a proper bridge somewhere over a river. I really would love to make like a river habitat or something where you have the path, you know, passing over it or crossing it two or three times. That would be really, really amazing, and I would wish to see that while we can just follow these. Look at them, they're socializing. I want to see that. Can we just have a little look here? Look, you are just merging into each other. That's nice. Having a little food. I love the design of this animal. Really, really cool design. Let's just jump out and go into the... Ooh, I wanted to stay straight, please. There you go. And then zoom in. Look at the family. Everyone is together. Socializing. So cool colors. Really good stuff. Look at that. I really, really love that. So cool. So cool. I'm not running on 4K though. That would have been even better. In 4K, these things look even more terrifying and even better. But yeah, so this is the situation. I really dig it. I really do love how this all looks. I love how the colors work together with the different fur and feather shaders and stuff. Really good. I just really am a big fan of that. Also, we have a very wonderful view from over here, as you can see. It just has, oh, look at that. It has this wonderful river from the left hand side, and you have all the ponds in your view. You can see the Terry moving across. Really, I would pay a lot of money to have that view. And obviously, you also have this wonderful view from over here. If we're willing to go here, you can see that one. It looks almost terrifying because of this open gate over here. Like, it's not even a gate, but since this is like the invisible fence, that looks really, really, really terrifying. I wonder, though, how that would be done in real life. Like, there would be something for the guest, at least, because I can just, like, straight walk into it. Oh my god, this looks crazy with the fog and the mist coming over here. Look at that. That is a very nice angle to end this episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did enjoy this build a lot, even though it was rather quickly done, not gonna lie. But that's also the beauty of Jurassic World Evolution sometimes. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this build a lot, just as I did. If you guys want to see more of this wonderful game on the channel, make sure to subscribe. There's a lot more coming in the future. But until then, have a wonderful time. I talk to you in the next one, and goodbye.